All right, so we're going to do a few practice problems. So as we're looking at this, remember our formula is going to be look at the bases. Are they the same? I have a 4, I have a 4, they are the same. So I'm going to put this base down. I now look at the exponents. I have a 3, I have a 2. So I'm going to add those guys up. 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 gives me 5. So 4 to the 5th. That means I have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 gives me 16. 4 times 4 gives me 16. I multiply these guys up. And 3. 6 times 1 gives me a 6. Plus 3 gives me a 9. Bring down that 0. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Add those guys up. And 5 and 2. And then I multiply 256. 256. 256 times my final 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 5 gives me a 20, plus that 2 gives me a 22. And 4 times 2 gives me 8, plus 2 gives me 10. So this will be 10, 24. Now, when I'm having you guys do this, do I expect you guys to do this by hand? Not really. I do understand you guys have your own phones, cell phones, calculators, all that stuff. So you guys can use your calculator to do this. However, when you guys are taking your state test, you're not allowed to use a calculator half the time. So if you guys want to get into the habit of practicing multiplication, I suggest you do that. So, going to erase this. We look at the next problem. Look at your bases. Are they the same? I have an x, I have an x. So they are the same. So I'm going to write that base down. I look at my exponents. I have a 2 and I have a 34. Don't be afraid because this is a bigger number. It's still the same thing. I have a 2 plus 34. 2 plus 34 gives me, 36. So x to the 36. Can I simplify that? Well, since I don't know what number it is, then obviously I can't, so I'm going to leave it just like that. So I look at C. Look at your bases. Are they the same? Yes, they are. However, I have parentheses and I have a negative inside. Make sure when you copy it down that you do the same thing. You'll have parentheses with a 2 and a negative inside. Look at your exponents. What are they? Does this have an exponent? Not that I can see, so I am going to put a 1 right there just as a place marker because I know it is invisible. So 1 and 13. So I'm going to do 1 plus 13. 1 plus 13 gives me 14. So I write my base and I do write 14. Now, if I did do this and I did it 14 times, my answer would be negative because this is, no, I apologize. My answer would be positive because this exponent is even. So I know if I have a negative 2 times a negative 2, it's going to give me a positive 4. So if I did that 14 times, I know my answer will end up being a positive answer. If it was a negative exponent, then my answer would be a negative, because if I had 4 and I multiplied that by another 2, I get a negative 8. So when I'm multiplying negatives, and let me write this down. When multiplying negatives, and only with negatives. When we're multiplying by positive numbers, we don't care because positive times a positive still gives me a positive. But when you're multiplying by negative numbers, and the exponent is even, the answer is positive. All right, so if it's the exponent is even, then the answer is positive. If, and I will get out of your way in a second, if the exponent is negative, or is odd, I apologize, odd, then the answer is negative. All right? So again, if you're multiplying numbers, so like this, a negative number, and the exponent is positive, then my answer is, or the exponent is even, then my answer is going to be positive. If this was odd, so like 1, 3, 5, 7, then my answer will be negative. All right, so write that down. Make sure you write it down because that does come up a lot, and this will trick you. Again, make sure when you have a parenthesis, that negative number, that you do have parentheses. If you don't, you're treating it differently. All right, if you did, then your answers would always be negative because the negative number is on the outside, but this one's inside. So this one would be a positive answer because it's a 14. All right, so again, make sure that you guys copy this down. Negative numbers are always going to give you guys a hard time, right? One more second. All right, let's move on. All right, again, look at your bases. I have an x and I have an x, so I'm going to write my base down. I have a 4 and a negative 4. So I'm going to add those. 4 plus a negative 4. 4 plus a negative 4 gives me what? 4 minus 4 gives me a 0. Am I done? No, we did this the other day. Any number or variable to the 0 gives me what as an answer? Anybody? You back there? That's right, it's a 1. Thank you, random child. All right, so x to the 0 is going to give me 1. So my final answer would be 1. So now these are going to be the ones that are kind of mixing in the information that we learned yesterday or whenever you guys watched the video before this. Again, look at all your bases. We do see negative exponents. I want you guys to hold off on moving them until afterwards. We're going to add them up first and then see if our final answer is going to be negative. So we look at our bases. Are they all the same? Yes. So I'm going to write it down. I have a negative 18 plus a 14 plus a negative 6. All right, so negative 18 plus 14. I'm going to keep moving this guy down just so that you guys can see it and I don't have to move the camera. Negative 18 plus 14. So negative 18 plus 14 gives me a negative 4 because I'm doing 18 minus 14, which gives me a 4. So I know I have a negative 4 plus the negative 6. Well, a negative and negative, I'm still owing you. So I owe you $4. I owe you 6. So that means I now owe you 10. Since I owe you, it's going to be negative. All right, my answer is done. So I look at my exponent. Is it positive or is it negative? It's negative. It does not like where it's at, so I need to move this guy. I'm going to draw my arrow going down. So I'm going to draw my fraction bar. I'm going to put a 1 on top. This 2 will go to the bottom. And my exponent will become a 10, and it'll be positive because it's happy. All right? And we do our multiplication. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to move this camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You still see me? Yes, you can. All right. So 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4. Oh my goodness. 4. That's a lot of 4s. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times 4, 16. And we have that extra one. Hey, didn't we do one just like this? Wasn't 16 times 16 like 250 something? Multiply. 6 times 6 gives me a 36. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 3 is 9. 0. 6 times 1 is 6. I'm talking really fast. I apologize. I get a 6. 9 plus 6 gives me 15. And 2. Yeah, I was right. And then I'm going to multiply it by this final 4. You can't see me, right? Apologize. All right. 6 times 4, 24. Carry. That's a 22. And that's a 10. So my answer would be 1 over 1024. So kind of the same thing as what we got for A, only this time it's underneath the 1. So it is a fraction. So give you 1 second to kind of look around. So what did we do? We did 18 plus 14 plus negative 6. Negative 18 plus 14 gave me a negative 4. Negative 4 plus a negative 6 gives me a negative 10. Since I do have a negative exponent, it is going to come down. And I multiplied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 twos. 2 times 2 is 4. 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 And hey, guess what? 2 times 2 is also 4. Then we do 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is another 16. We have a remainder of 4. So we're going to multiply. 16 times 16 gave me 256 plus this extra 4 gave me 1024. So my answer was 1 over 1024. 1 second to kind of copy it down before I have to erase it to make room for F. Okay. And erase. Yes, I hear you guys groaning. No, miss. I needed to copy that. You should have paused. Rewind. All right. So looking at F, we're going to do the same thing. Look at my bases. Are they all the same? Yes. Why? Why? Because I gave you that answer, or that variable. Put down all my exponents. 8 plus a negative 2 plus a negative 7. All right, add them up. 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 gives me a positive 6. Woohoo, positive. Oh no, positive with a negative means I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 6 gives me a 1. The 7 is bigger, so it is going to be negative. That means I have y to the negative 1. Again, I have a negative. So what does that mean? It doesn't like where it's at, so I'm going to draw an arrow going down. Draw my fraction bar. What goes on top? A 1, since the y is by itself, is going down. And since that's a negative, now it's a positive. But do I really need to have that 1 there? Not really. I can just leave it as 1 over y. So again, 8 minus 2 gives me a 6. Positive because the 8 is bigger. I have a negative 7. A negative and a positive means I have to subtract. 7 minus 6 gave me a 1. Since the 7 is bigger, I'm going to keep its sign, so it's a negative 1. Put that back in our exponent, so y is negative 1. Bring that y down. Once I do, that negative 1 becomes a positive, and I can simplify it to just 1 over y.